This is your easy solo guide to the Easter egg for the Black Ops 6 map Liberty Falls. When spawning in on Liberty Falls, the first step of the Easter egg cannot be started until you open Pack-a-Punch, so for now, you'll want to just stay in the spawn until round 7. You'll need to save up about 13,000 points, and this will allow you to buy your way to Pack-a-Punch, then upgrade your weapon. To start the first step of the Easter egg, walk up to this generator in the Dark Ether and interact with it. Your screen will momentarily go white, and this means you have started the Easter egg. We now need to acquire the jet gun. You can either build it or obtain it from the mystery box, but for the sake of this guide, we will just build the jet gun. You don't need to do this in any specific order, but the way I'm about to tell you is by far the best order to do this in. For the first part, head down to Washington Avenue just down this hill. If you turn left, you'll see this flower shop, and right next to it is a water valve. Hold X or square, and this will allow you to pick it up. You now need to head back over to the bowling alley, and on the far right in the lanes, you need to melee open this box on this wall. You can now place this valve into this box, and you'll need to interact with it for around 40 seconds. You won't be able to shoot during this time, and you will be stuck in place. Doing this on solo can be a little tedious, so I recommend using decoy grenades or just running outside of the bowling alley, then back in until you finish off this water valve. Once complete, all the zombies will die, and the first piece to the jet gun, which is the pressure gauge, will spawn on the floor. For the next piece, you'll need to head up into the graveyard, and you'll want to sit here and kill zombies until a specific zombie spawns in. Now, you're not filling any souls or doing anything, simply just stay in this area until a zombie called the groundskeeper spawns in. He's easy to spot, and he has a custom design, so don't worry. Once you kill him, he will drop a key that you need to pick up. Head back over to the main hill, then down this little alley. Here you'll find a farmer shed that you can now unlock with this key. Just on the table, you'll find the second part to the jet gun. Pick up the handbrake, and now we can get to the final part to the jet gun. For this one, you'll need to find any mangler on the map, and typically they will always spawn on round 11, but once you find one, you need to shoot his left arm where the cannon is, and this will break off the cannon and allow you to pick it up as a score streak. Head down to the comic book store by Quick Revive, and just across the street, you'll see this radio store. You'll now need to pull out your mangler cannon and shoot the door to this building. This will break the door, and you can now go inside and dig up these little trash piles on the floor. One of these will spawn in the final part to the jet gun, which is the electrical wires. Now that you have all 3 pieces, go back to the motel in the spawn room, and just on the second floor, there's a secret room with the jet gun buildable. Craft the jet gun, and now we can start the next step of the Easter egg. We now need to find 3 pieces scattered across the map for the LTG device. The first one can be found in the Pack-a-Punch room just on the balcony above the door. You'll need to use your jet gun and suck it in to pick it up. The next piece can be found in a window down on Washington Avenue. To get this one, jump on top of this roof, then jump onto this white truck. From here, you can use your jet gun to pull it towards you. And for the final piece, head into the comic book shop, and just in this crack in the ceiling, you can find the final piece. Once all 3 pieces have been obtained, head back onto the bank roof. Just in the back left of this roof, you can find a buildable table where you can craft the LTG device. Now, at this point in the Easter egg, if you have any spare points or salvage, be sure to upgrade your weapons and buy perks, as for the next few steps, you'll need to kill a lot of zombies. Bring the LTG device to either one of the storms on the map. I prefer to do this by the comic book store first, and simply just place it down under the storm. This will start a 60-second defense that you will have to do. On solo and earlier rounds, this is pretty easy, as not many zombies will end up spawning into the map. And if you fail, you will just have to wait around to do it again. Once finished, a mini boss will spawn into the map. Now, it's completely random whether you get an abomination or a buffed up mangler on your first attempt. Do not kill this mini boss. Head back towards Pack-a-Punch, and you'll need to interact with this generator once more. This will give you a canister. Now, you won't be able to run while holding this, so be careful and take it all the way back to the spawn room. Once you're here, drop it anywhere inside of this trap. You'll now need to weaken the mini boss to extremely low health, and once he's low enough, you'll get a quote from one of the characters, and purple mist will start to float around the boss. Now, it doesn't matter if the canister is in your inventory or if it's on the floor, but you'll need to activate the trap and make sure the boss dies next to the canister. This will fill it with essence, and you'll need to pick up the canister and take it all the way back to the Pack-a-Punch room. You're on a time limit for this, and you only have 1:20. This isn't too hard, but be aware. You can now insert it into the generator, and this will give you a new item called the Strauss counter. If you manage to fail this step, simply just go back to the LTG device you placed earlier and interact with it. This will respawn the boss. For the next step, grab the Strauss counter from the generator, and you'll need to match the color of the Strauss device with the 3 terminals around the map. The first one can be found just on the hill by the bowling alley. Pull out your Strauss counter, and if the color is yellow on the device, interact with the terminal until the light is yellow. For the next one, you can find this just by the shed where we got the jet gun part. Again, if this one is green, yellow, or red, just match it with that color. And for the final one, you'll need to get on top of the bank, then buy this door. Drop down and match the color with this one. Now, if you did it right, the terminals will move on their own and shoot purple mist. If this didn't happen for you, go back to any terminal that is either green or red and switch it to the opposite. So if it's red, switch it to green, and if it's green, switch it to red. This will unlock the second canister in the spawn room, which we now need to pick up. Now, bring it to the storm in the graveyard. We need to do the same 60-second defense right here again. This is fairly easy, just spam whatever weapons you have. Once finished with this defense, another mini boss will spawn in. Now, if on the first defense you did a abomination spawn, this one will be a mangler, and if the first one was a mangler, this will be an abomination. Do the same thing we did the first time and get him extremely weak, then bring him to the trap on Washington Avenue and kill him right next to your canister. If done correctly, this will fill the canister, and again, you need to bring it back to the generator in the Pack-a-Punch room. Once you place this in the generator, this is essentially the Easter egg complete. Interacting with with this generator will throw you into the boss fight. But before you do that, I highly recommend getting yourself prepared because this can be extremely difficult if you're not ready. Buy all your perks, upgrade your weapons, and I do recommend buying a mutant injection from the crafting table if you have it unlocked. Once ready, enter the boss fight and you'll now be locked in the Pack-a-Punch room and have to complete 3 waves of non-stop enemies. For the first wave, you'll just have a bunch of zombies. Train clockwise and this round is a breeze. You won't have much trouble with this, and once complete, a power-up will spawn in. The next defense wave will then start. The zombies become more aggressive and a Mangler mini-boss will spawn in. This time, this is where it starts to get a bit difficult. Again, just train clockwise, and if you're using a ray gun or the Mustang and Sally's, just spray them at the floor. I highly recommend also using the alternate ability on the jet gun, as this thing is super good and will kill everything around you. Once you kill the red Mangler, the final wave of this boss fight will start, and this one is by far the hardest. If you have a mutant injection, this is the wave you'll want to use it on. The mini-boss that spawns in is now an abomination, and there's also Manglers that will spawn in. Make sure to take your time with this wave as it's pretty difficult, but once you kill the abomination, that is the Easter egg complete. You'll then enter the final cutscene, and this will give you the choice to continue playing or exit the game. If you choose to continue playing, you'll be granted a perkaholic and tons of gold weapons. Another unlock is also this calling card, as well as a skin for the ray gun. Now, as of right now, if you die in the very final stage of the boss fight, the cutscene will actually play and you will unlock the achievement and the rewards for beating the Easter egg even if you lose. If you guys enjoyed this short guide, feel free to subscribe and good luck with your Liberty Falls Easter egg.